Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully, unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Colin?
and Cadence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello.
It's Colin.
It's Cadence.
And we're like sticking hardcore with the swords and, I don't know, there's a word for it.
I
Swords
was
and
like,
spells. Swords and spells.
Swords and spells.
We're keeping
yes.
it hardcore with the swords and spell movies this whole season.
Yeah, we are returning back to sort of like a Legend vibe, I guess you could say, with this
Oh,
one.
I think it was a direct competition with Legend.
Fairies and forests and creatures and...
Kind of got like a biblical story to it. It's got some Moses elements to it.
kind of does.
It's got some.
It kind of does.
But the movie this week is Willow, 1988.
Yes, 1988. And I always forget that Ron Howard directed this. I always forget that.
Well, I didn't know that George Lucas produced it or whatever. It was like at the tail end of the 80s, and during the 80s, it was all the swords and spell fantasy movies. There was a lot of competition going on. This movie didn't do as well as they thought it would do because it was like literally coming out at the end and everyone is fantasied out, dude. They're like, after Neverending Story,
kind of
after Legend, after Labyrinth, after all, they're just like, we can't do it anymore.
Dark Crystal.
After Dark
Just
Crystal,
like,
Last
I can't.
Unicorn, like we're over this freaking fantasy world.
That's so funny because it's kind of like how everyone's like marveled out right now and like comicked out right now because it's just been like nothing but giant comic book movies for literally a decade. And people are just like, I can't anymore. I can't watch it one more.
And you know how Cadence and I feel about those really good movies.
As it is.
Although we were talking to a really loyal fan who said that we should do Madam Web. I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was worse than Morbius. And if you look online right now, it's got an 11% and Morbius has a 15, I think. Those four points less must mean it is fucking awful. Anyway, today's movie, if you couldn't, we already said like 10 times. It's Willow. There's a lot going on in it.
The one thing we kind of complained about with Legend was that everything felt like you had been dropped into a story that you should have already known at this point.
Like, did I read the book on this? I don't know.
And so you felt kind of lost. But they do a better job of explaining in a brief period of time what each species is and group of people is and creatures are. And you feel like you get the picture a little bit better.
So the movie starts off in this fantasy world, and Cadence and I, if we love anything, we love Creature Cam, and we love scrolling text at the beginning of the screen to let us dummies know what's happening.
Love it.
So we're met with this scrolling screen, and give a summary of what it says.
All right, so we are in a kingdom that is now being taken over by the evil queen Bavmorda.
Bavy. Oh, Baver.
Old Baverly.
Bavy.
She has heard that a prophecy has taken place. And the prophecy is that a little baby girl is going to be born. And this little baby girl will have a special symbol on her. And she will grow up to overthrow Queen Bavmorda and bring goodness back to the kingdom and get rid of all the war and murderous. It's
Queen Bav, that's what they call her. Hey, Bavy. She's just a wicked old shrew.
Yeah.
And where'd you hear this prophecy? Where'd you hear that prophecy? Word around town is just this prophecy, like
just like a random little scroll gets passed from person to person. They're like, did you hear about this prophecy?
Did you hear that there's going to be like a prophecy happening? Like, come on, lots of questions.
She kills everyone all the time. And so I'm like, who are you ruling over then? If you're just constantly killing, and because she just conquers place after place after place, kills them, puts their bones in a pile, and then moves to the next place.
It is
and
not sustainable. Not sustainable for a king. I don't know much about the monarchy, but I know that that's not a sustainable kingdom to have if you kill everybody.
Does not work out for you, but whatever. She could end up like the king and the son in Last Unicorn, where it's like Grey Gardens with her and her daughter.
Grey Gardens.
Just alone in that castle.
Oh, I love Last Unicorn, Grey Gardens. It's my favorite. But she basically has heard that prophecy that Cadence just said. And so she's like, every woman who's pregnant with a baby girl has to be in my castle. I have to watch it popping out. And I have to make sure that it's not the little baby girl with this very Fifth Element symbol on her.
Yes.
Very Fifth Element.
She's got to lay eyes on each of those babies. So we flash immediately into Queen Bavmorda's giant, terrifying castle where she has a woman captive in a jail cell, just casually giving birth.
People love Babby.
They're like, thank you for these accommodations.
She runs this place real good. She runs this place real good. That's what that's the rumors going around now.
Can you prophesy about how accommodating the castle is?
Screw that prophecy. Babby's really, really good to her people.
So Babby has made the mistake of doing something else at the moment the baby is born. You would think she'd be like, I will stand here like Colin said and watch it come out of your vagina.
One job to watch it pop out, but no.
She's like, I've got a million things to do, a million curses to make. I will be in another room. Come get me when you find out. So Sorsha is the queen's daughter who's also a warrior. And she's the one that lays eyes on the baby.
Is it a girl?
Yes.
Show me its arm.
She bears the mark.
The omen is true. I must tell my mother.
And she's like, oh shit, this is the girl. She's got the mark. And so she's like, I'm going to go tell my mom. I'll be right back.
And then immediately the woman who had the baby is like,
Please help me. They're going to kill her.
yo, Edna, she's the housewife who delivered it. Like, hide this baby. Like, they all know it's the one. So this whole prophecy that they've been looking for and paying attention to, everybody freaks out and leaves the room when it's born, and it gets a perfect escape route.
Like, you would think that it'd be like, watch, stay guard, one of you stay here, like
they all run up. They're just so excited to tell Babby, oh my God, it's her.
So yeah, the woman who had the baby is like telling the midwife she's going to kill her. That's the whole point of the prophecy is she wants to get rid of this baby. So you got to hide her. So the midwife leaves, does the whole Moses thing, puts her in a basket.
Leaves a little basky.
Yeah, takes her on a journey, and they travel over mountains and snow and fields. Like, they go a very long time.
She's
In my
committed.
memory of this,
She's committed.
she just kind of walks down to the river and like floats the baby, but she actually goes quite a long way.
Oh yeah, she's trying to get it away.
The queen is obviously mad because by the time she gets back to the room, she's like,
Baby. The midwife. Find that baby, Sorsha. Use the dogs. Bring her back to me alive.
I thought you
Where'd
said
that
the baby was in here.
Where'd that baby go?
What's going on? You guys promised the baby was in here. So she tells Sorsha, you got to go find her and you got to send the dogs after her.
And the dogs are like actual dogs, but in like werewolf costumes because it's the 80s, you know, no CGI. So it's clear that it's like a poor little golden retriever in this clunky costume. But my favorite thing is the dogs go right to Edna, who's the midwife who ran away. She's got a big stick, does not use it. They just come and eat her right away. She stands up with the stick over her head. Dogs just go eat her. Doesn't even fight them, doesn't even hit them with the stick. And I'm like, you know Queen Babby, you know these dogs, you know their MO.
Just be like, hey, little guy.
You could have done anything.
You know me. I'm a midwife.
No,
at the
but they
castle.
destroy her. And little baby, what's the baby's name again?
It's Elora, but you don't find that out till later. But let me just say this. So she finds like a little piece of floating debris that she puts the baby on and sends her down the river.
It's a full raft she makes. Are you kidding me? She's prepping for those dogs to come. She makes a full Moses raft.
She doesn't make it. She just kind of tests this like piece of bank.
She makes a
that's,
legit
like coming
raft.
She
Are you
does
stupid?
it.
No, it's just big. It's got it's like a floating bed. It's in a rectangular
what I'm saying
shape with like a pillow and everything. She doesn't just find that.
She does.
Perfect timing. Right as the dogs are coming to eat me. This perfect floating. And she doesn't just test it. She knows because she made it. Puts the baby on.
No,
tosses
she
her down the
doesn't
river.
make it. I'm telling you. She's like testing. There's this like clump of debris. And she's like, oh my God, this debris is the perfect size and shape. And she like kind of pushes on it. And she's like, yeah, it'll hold the baby. And then she puts
Bye.
the baby on it and sends him down the river. My question though was the dogs are not accompanied by any humans. So the
They're too
dogs
fast.
just come up and they immediately devour the midwife, right? But like, would they have known to stop with the baby? Because she needs the baby alive. And so
I told
would
you,
they have
the midwife
just,
knows Queen Bavi's dog. She's lived with these. She knows that they're going to slowly take the baby away from her, kill her, put the baby in their jaws, and then run back
yeah,
to
so
Queen
the queen needs, like, I was thinking like, oh, it's going to go kill the baby and devour everyone and get rid of the baby. But the queen needs the baby in order to do the ritual. The baby needs to be alive. So
That's a good point.
I just wasn't sure how the dogs were going to like mentally be like, okay, we'll kill the woman.
Maybe the humans are right behind them. They're quick behind. That's the dogs first.
They might be right out of
Then they
frame.
are.
You're right.
Also, that old housewife, she's already midwife.
You keep calling her a
I've
housewife.
been watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's in my mind. She could have like I said, she knows Queen Bavi's dog. She knows how they work. She could have just thrown the baby in the river and then like kept running really far so that she could get as far away from the baby as possible.
From the dogs. I see what you're saying.
She's like, I'm going to die right here where I just put this baby in and make it so obvious for everybody.
And try
that I
to
put the
like
baby in the water.
mislead the dogs a little bit.
Yeah, she could have just like
run up
a
the
hill a little
mountain.
bit or something. But nope. They're going to be like, okay, this bitch sent her down the river.
Yeah, clearly it went down the river. Right.
So, baby
Alora. Yeah, we don't find that out technically till later, but just for sake of clarity, we will call her Alora
She's
for now.
full bundled up on a thing that was clearly man-made. It was not a piece of driftwood. And we see these beautiful two little kids, and they're like actual children, and they find this baby in the river, and they go to tell their dad.
Daddy, we found something in the river.
I can't run up and play with you now. Ran another work to do.
You gotta come, hurry.
And their dad is the one and only Willow. Willow.
They're Nulwyn. So the real respectful name
It's
of
not
Willow's
Peck.
people
It's
is
Nulwyn.
Nulwyn, and Peck is the slang. And so out of respect for Willow's people, we're going to call them the Nulwyn. So his two little children find the baby on the side of the river. He's like,
We'll push it downstream and forget we ever saw it. Come on.
do not touch this baby. We'll just put it back in and send it right back down and pretend like we never saw it.
All this would have happened if he would have just done that. But the kids are like, no, we have to. He's like, fuck. Takes it back. He kind of develops a little bit of like a connection though. He's like smiling at it.
And his wife also is like obsessed
she's
with it.
so
And
like
she's
ready
this
to
is
adopt
our baby
it.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
she built a crib. She's fully ready. Turns out though that those dogs, after they killed Edna, they go and fucking lambast that town. Wait, is lambast the right word?
Sure.
I don't know where that.
I think verbally is more of like a lambast. It's like a verbal situation, but they
I
could
don't know where that came from. That came out of nowhere. They fucking
Those dogs
destroyed that town.
lambasted those Nulwyns.
But they do. And the good thing is that the Nulwyn, they kill the dogs dead.
Well, there's a pack of dogs, and they only kill one.
But they do
Their
make sure
best
it's dead.
warrior.
They all stand
Their
around it
best
and they
warrior.
really make
Yes,
sure it's dead.
that's true.
Which they never do in movies, so good for them.
I guess the other dogs are so scared of the one dog that had been killed that they're like, you know what? We'll come back later.
We'll come back.
Clearly, these little guys, they have a system of warriors that we did not predict. So we'll just back up. We'll come back later.
We're going to reverse
We're
lambast
going to regroup.
and sneak out of here.
At that point, Willow's like,
We can't keep the baby, Kaya. We have to take her to the village council.
I have a feeling that those dogs were hunting the baby because that's the only thing that's different. So we should take the baby to the town wizard and do a town council and ask them what we should do with the baby.
And the town wizard is a kooky old man that doesn't really make any sense. And he it's completely pointless to say this, but he does this whole ceremony to see who's going to be the next wizard. And he's like, probe my finger. And no one pulls the right finger. And I'm like, does anyone know? How do we have anything to test this finger theory? He could just be a senile man that didn't choose a finger.
He definitely seemed like a little bit of a scammer because...
Well, later he tells Willow that the bones don't even do anything. I'm like, why do you trust him as the wizard?
And yeah, so Willow, on a side note, he's been trying to be the wizard's apprentice for years, doesn't pull the right finger.
He wants to be a big sorcerer.
Yeah, there's already a little bit of tension between him and the wizard. So anyway, the wizard is at the council. The whole village of Nulwyns are there to discuss what should happen. And you hear this one voice over all the rest of them that's like,
Who's to blame?
We must find the culprit and throw him in the pit.
Whoever's responsible for this, we're going to throw him in a pit. Like,
Like, really bad torture.
mad.
Whoever brought this upon us, we're going to torture you indefinitely.
Like, it couldn't just be a misunderstanding.
Nope.
It's like, we will skin them alive. We will have the rest of the
Selvins,
dogs
dude, they don't
eat
fuck
them.
around.
Like,
They do not fuck around. But it was funny because it's like total torture for the rest of your life, whoever, if you choose not to do something about this.
yes, you will pay.
So Willow's instantly like, okay, well, I guess I got to be the one to get rid of this burden on the town, apparently, because all my mates and family is going to turn against me in 2 seconds because my kids found a baby on the side of the river, and now I'm going to be thrown in a pit and skinned alive by my friend Mike.
Willow brings the baby to the wizard, and then the wizard's like,
This child is special. This child must be taken beyond the boundaries of our village, all the way across the great river to the Daikini crossroads.
all right, well, we can't keep this baby here. You're going to have to take the baby to the crossroads where our land meets the Daikini land. Daikinis are human, like full-size human people that they think are giants because they're bigger. Well, I mean, the small people are humans in our world, but I think they're a different species in this world. So when we say human people...
But that's what I'm saying. Like in Lord of the Rings, they would have been hobbits and elves and humans.
Right.
Humans have no powers. These guys clearly have kill and dog powers and torture powers.
They
so
are.
they got something.
So, yeah, the wizard's like, you're going to need to find someone who's willing to take this baby to the crossroads so we can give it back. And that's when he decides to use his sweet magic wizard bones. And he's like, let's ask the bones who we should send.
Yes, these bones don't do anything. He literally tells him, yes, these bones are done. I'm like, okay, you are a scammer.
He goes,
The bones tell me nothing. Do you have any love for this child?
okay, the bones, they say nothing. Do you or do you not have any feelings for this baby? And Willow's like, God damn it. Yes, I do. And he's like, okay. So then he lies. The wizard lies to everyone and goes, the bones said it's Willow. So if he would have just come clean and been like, the bones were unclear, Willow's volunteering, but he perpetuates the myth that the bones are actually doing something, which makes me think he's a scammer. I'm just going to say
He is a total scammer. But
Yeah.
Willow does have a little ragtag crew that go with him, and they're going to return the baby to the Daikini, which, like, literally the first Daikini that they see.
Yeah,
They
there's
do
not
not
a
care.
specification. All Daikinis are the same.
Not my problem anymore type of situation, so...
It's very much Halle Berry giving that freaking poster to anybody before midnight situation in Catwoman. Like,
Yes.
I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't
As
care
long
who
as
you are, where you're
someone
from
opens
before
that door.
midnight.
I love that in movies. It's like all responsibilities off of you. If someone else takes whatever object you have, it's just out of sight, out of mind.
Willow Loftgood, the safety of this village depends upon you.
Raise the bones!
But you will need help. Who has the courage to protect our brave fellow on his journey? I'll go with him.
Amigos. Excellent choice.
I'll go.
No, not Bunker. He's the best warrior in the village. We need him here. Bunker, step back.
All this expedition needs is a leader. And according to the bones, that leader is you, Burglecut.
Bunker!
So they are trekking out. It's very like Lord of the Rings. They're kind of going really far too, over beautiful scenery. And they come up
Yeah.
on this cage with a man in it. And it's not just any man. It's Val Kilmer with best lips in Hollywood. Best lips in Hollywood.
Oh, there's a really good documentary about him if you have not seen it.
Only if it's about his lips.
It's solely
all I
about
wanna
his
see.
lips. It's solely about his lips.
But his name is Madmartigan. That's what we have
Yes.
come to learn. And he's in this cage dangling up. One of those like weird bird cage things that you always see in medieval movies.
Yeah, they must
So
have been
terrifying.
very popular. But can you imagine just
Very popular.
dangling in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, did that must have had to have happened to influence so many movies to
Yeah.
do that?
I agree because you see them pop up a lot, and so I think it must have been a legitimate form of torture or
awful way to
imprisonment, which
die.
is terrifying.
Terrifying.
So he's at the crossroads by himself, alone in this wilderness, and he's like,
Let me out of here. I'll take care of the baby.
oh, hi. He immediately tries to like start manipulating Willow and his gang.
Very con man energy. Very con man energy.
Yes.
Very wizard energy.
Yes. It doesn't tell you what he did. So that's the thing. It's like you're not quite sure about his character because you don't know why he ended up in this cage.
But I think that Willow should see that he's in a cage. So he must have done something pretty bad to be like stranded in a cage in the middle of nowhere. But that's
yes,
just me.
but it's like Bavmorda's a wicked queen. So it's like if you pissed off Bavmorda and she put you in there,
That's true.
then
He
it's
could
like
have literally
maybe.
just. He could have just said something about her hair. You're right.
Did you also catch that Bavmorda is the same lady from Return to Oz?
No, I did not catch that.
Yeah.
Like the one that takes off her heads?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, she really hit up that fantasy genre, that actress.
She
Good for
really
her.
did. She was like, this is my niche and I'm going to stay there. Anyway, he's like, listen, I will, if you give me that baby and let me out, I will take that baby off your hands. It's not a
Because
problem.
Willow's like, oh yeah, we made an agreement. First Daikini we see, so if it's in a cage, not my problem.
We gotta give that baby to somebody.
One of Willow's buddies on the thing is like, we should probably just give it to him, right? And he's like, no, I absolutely do not trust this man in a cage. I will stay here until another Daikini comes.
Fine. You stay here alone. We're going.
There was a few other people in Willow's group and they all go home. They're like, you can do what
yeah,
you
they're
want.
like, fuck this. They're like, no, we found a Daikini, we did our role. Back to
Yes.
Wizard Bones.
That's
We're
all
gonna
we
go.
had to do.
Yeah.
The old Wizard Bones is a call-in. So they leave, and Migosh is the only one left. And so they wait for like another day or so, and this whole time, Madmartigan is doing his con man energy vibes,
yeah.
just like,
Nobody's gonna take care of that baby. You know why? Nobody cares. Except me. You want to go back to your families. I want out of this cage. Let me take care of that baby. I'll look after her like she was my own.
I will be the best father to that baby. Like, just
I
give
will
me a little
die
bit
for
of
that
water.
baby. Whatever
I need
you want me
something to
do.
live for. Like, just let me. He's still not quite sure if he's going to trust him, right? Then a couple of horse riders come by this spot and Willow tries to flag them down and they just blow right past him. And you realize that Daikini's...
That doesn't mean they're good because they're not in cages. They could be bad guys running.
Exactly.
Bad guy just soon to be in cages.
He tries to flag them down, but they don't stop. And you're like, number one, you realize the Daikini aren't really respectful of the
They're just so
Newlands.
teeny.
And you can also gather that because Madmartigan keeps calling him a peck.
There's a peck here with an acorn pointed at me. Peck. Peck.
And like we said earlier, peck is slang. And so he's like, oh, peck, no one gives a shit about you, peck. Like, get out of the road, peck. Nobody cares about you, peck.
Okay, we get it. Jesus.
Well, because he's so aggressive
Do you
about
like
it in
pecks?
the movie.
Do you have something against Pex? Goodness.
You kind of get the drift that no one's going to stop and listen to whatever his story is.
Excuse me, sir.
Out of the way, Peck.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Excuse me, sir. We found one of your babies in our village. Will you please take care of her?
So a couple riders come by, and then an army of like 300 soldiers and horses come by, and one of them stops, and his name is Eric. And we're bringing him up because he pops up as an important part of the story later on. So Eric recognizes Madmartigan, and he's like,
Madmartigan! What'd you do this time?
Madmartigan's like,
Nothing you wouldn't have done in my place.
nothing you wouldn't have done yourself, so don't judge. Could you let me out? And Eric's like,
I always knew you'd end up in a crow's cage. Madmartigan, sit in your coffin and rot. Wait, Eric. I'll be around long after you're dead.
I absolutely will not. I don't want to be held responsible for whatever you did or did not do and you being loose. The little Willow clan is like, please, soldier, can you take this baby? And Eric, the soldier's like,
Going into battle, little ones. Find a woman to take care of her.
find a woman. I don't have time. We're all marching to battle. So that's also letting you know that the war with Queen Bavmorda has already begun and armies are already fighting against her giant army. He takes off and then Willow finally relents. He's like, so all the Daikini are fighting in wars and this is the one Daikini who's not. So I don't have a choice. Madmartigan it is. So he lets Madmartigan out of the cage.
I feel better! You've done the right thing!
Okay, all right. You gotta promise to feed her
Come to daddy, little darling.
and keep her clean.
Absolutely.
And he's thrilled. Takes Elora. He's like, she's my favorite baby. I've adopted her. She's my own child. I will love her until the end of time. Goodbye, Willow. And Willow's like, promise me you'll take care of her. Promise me you'll keep her safe.
Yeah, bye. Bye.
Bye.
See ya, bye. He's like riding away, like, sure, whatever.
You worry too much, Peck.
It's Willow.
I mean Willow. Now listen, boys. Willow, you've done the right thing. I want you to get home and bring your crop in.
Willow's kind of sad a little bit that Elora is gone now. You know, you can tell. He doesn't say anything, but you can tell.
Yeah.
But him and Migosh are just like walking back like, wow, what a crazy past couple days, right?
If we hurry, we can be home by tomorrow morning. We'll be heroes. You really think so? Sure. Look, there's Willow and Migosh. The heroes have come home. Welcome back, boys. You deserve medals. Medals.
Boo, boy.
What a ride.
And all of a sudden, they see a little tiny Barbie on a falcon. And this falcon's also carrying freaking Elora, dude.
I stole the baby! I stole the baby!
And I'm like,
He's got
okay,
the baby pouch.
obviously. She's still in the baby pouch that went down the same river. And I'm like, okay, obviously Madmartigan didn't take very good care of that baby because she's already been stolen by these little guys called the Brownies. And the Brownies are like, we got the baby. I'm on my hawk.
They are thrilled. They're like,
Oh,
we got
yes.
this baby.
Cracked out so bad. And they're like, you know what? We've already got this baby. We're already on this high, this kidnapping high. Let's kill Willow and Migosh. And they just like wrap them up for no real reason.
Well, Willow and Migosh are like, well, even we can outrun brownies because they're smaller than us. So
natural way of thinking.
They take off running. But guess what? The brownies have already thought this through, and there is a booby trap in the forest. And so Willow and Migosh fall into the forest hole. And that's when the brownies get the upper hand. Because by the time Willow and Migosh wake up, they're already done tied up.
Oh,
they
yeah,
are.
it's full Gulliver's Travel. Full Gulliver's Travel.
Yes.
And they're like, what are you doing, you little brownies? Basically, the brownies you can know are a little cracked out, you know? And you're like, okay, I get it. They're small, lots of energy.
Yeah, they are somehow associated with the forest fairies.
Yeah, the head forest fairy comes just now and gets closer and closer to the camera. When she gives her speech.
Yeah. So you see all these like little tiny fairies come in and they're like kissing Willow on the nose.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're
we
like,
get a little Tinkerbell, give a little...
And then you hear a voice say,
Frenchie, release the gnomes and stop pestering them.
okay, brownies, just like untie them. They're not a part of this. Just let them go. Stop fucking around.
You're on a kidnapping high. You got a little carried away. You got the baby that we wanted, but you don't have to kidnap these and torture these two people.
Then a huge full-size woman fairy pops up.
What's her name?
Calendria.
Calendria. She's very Lord of the Rings, Kate Blanchett's character. She even kind
Galadriel,
of talks
yes.
and moves like her. Yeah.
I had that same thought, and she's got like that long blonde hair.
That's what I
and,
said
like,
when she
the
gives them the
robes.
speech about taking care of her. She keeps getting like her
Yes.
face just keeps blowing up bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's just... Sorry, that's
She's
a
like,
visual.
are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
It's
Are you
just like the
hearing
green
me?
screen. It's just her eye really big in front of Willow.
So she breaks it down for them. Yes.
Yeah, she's like,
I am so happy to meet you, Willow of Good.
How do you know my name?
Elora Dellington. Elora, Willow's here. She's very special. My brownies have been searching for her ever since we heard she was born. Elora Dellington has chosen you to be her guardian.
Elora is very special, and she's chosen you, Willow, because I guess she can speak baby. She goes over there and she's like, she likes you, Willow. That's what she does.
She told me.
And they said, you have to take care of him. My little brownie boys are going to let you go. Take care of this Elora and get her to, what's her name?
Raziel.
Raziel, that's what it is. Raziel.
I should specify real quick that at first you think the brownies are, I mean, even though they're kind of naughty and rowdy, they have taken the baby because they are doing it for the fairest fairy Calendria, because she's heard about the prophecy. She's heard the baby is on the run, was floating down the river. And so she sent the brownies to find the baby in order to save it so that they could take it where it was going. So they were doing the right thing. They just got a little rambunctious.
Of course they were. They just got a little carried away. But she basically says, take this to Raziel.
Take my wand to Sorceress Brazil. She will guide you and Elora Dellington to the kingdom of Tirazli.
And she's like, I'm going to give you two of my two little best brownies. I can't remember what their names are. Tick and Talk. It's like they're very, the Disney animated Hercules movie. They're very pain and panic. I think they're like the comic relief. And then, but this is where it's kind of a funny part because Willow's like, me gosh, like, you don't have to come with me. And Migosh is like, oh my gosh, I do not. Bye. Just leaves him.
You are absolutely right. I don't have to come with you.
Oh my gosh, I don't have to go with you. And I'm like, I thought it was going to be like, again, a Lord of the Rings, like, we're in this to the end.
Right. So I couldn't help but think of when Chalendria, or whatever her name is, appears, she has, like, I'm almost like, is this Una vibes? Is she going to be like, Willow, give me a little kiss?
I know. Remember Luna, just so horny.
I'll tell you all the info you want if you just give me a little kiss.
Just so much sexual frustration.
That would be so funny. So, yeah, so she tells him that he's been chosen by Allura. And the next morning, like Colin said, he tells me, gosh, you can hit the road, head back home. I'm going to go on my way with this baby.
Listen, Migosh. Tell Kyra I love her. And I think of her every day.
Willow,
And tell her I'm not going to let anything happen to the baby.
are you sure you know what you're doing?
So he wraps that baby
And
up.
the two brownies.
And the two brownies. He gets the helping hand of the two brownies.
And I guess Migosh is like, you know what? You two got it covered. Bye. I'm going to go back. See ya.
Well, you got these brownies. Like, I think you're going to be fine
I think
without
you're
me.
good,
I'm probably
you know.
just more trouble than I'm worth. So you're fine. I have total faith in you.
Willow's on the way with his little brownies, and he's like, I gotta get this baby some milk. She's thirsty. So
Right.
they walk up on this giant bar, like beautiful,
It's like
like
pub.
3-story bar pub.
It's like a pub, yes.
It's nice too. It's like circular. It's very pretty.
It's nice. It's circular.
Well, it's like the architecture for that time period is just pretty impressive. You know, you'd think you'd have an A-frame, but no, it's like a
No.
pentagon shape. Regardless, he goes in, and I'm only saying this because it kind of comes up later, but the little pain and panic, the two little brownies, they're like so happy to be in a pub, and they potion themselves with like this love potion.
They see a beautiful woman and they're like,
Look at her. I could use a love potion on her. Grungy, give me the dust of broken heart. Come on, get it. Oh, it's very dangerous. It belongs to the fairies.
ooh, we can love potion her, but then they accidentally spill it on themselves.
And they just get love potioned with the little cat.
You are so beautiful. Your eyes, your whiskers. I have to kiss you.
And it's my favorite. But there's a reason I'm telling you about that love
so
potion.
in love with that cat.
Oh, he's like, kitty. And it's just, and then when the cat hisses, he like flies up.
And he falls into a vat of beer, and he's so stoked because now he gets to swim around in beer. So.
He's drunk, high on love, loving a cat. So Willow just happens to see this woman, two women, fighting in a room, right? And this woman's panicking. She's like,
My husband's coming! If he catches you here, he'll kill us both!
my freaking husband's going to come in here. He's going to murder you if he sees you're in here. And you're like, what are these two women getting into, right? But then the husband comes in, and turns out it's Madmartigan dressed as a woman because he was shagging this woman up. And that's their plan, to not have the husband kill him.
Cover your face!
But my favorite thing is the husband clearly sees it's a man dressed as a woman, but he thinks it's a woman. And she's like,
There's nobody here but me and, my cousin, Hilda.
he's trying so hard to get it on with Madmartigan.
Yes.
This is my husband, Lug.
Big husband.
Yes.
How you do? Hilda. Ooh. Come on, girls. Don't be shy. Stop. Wanna breed? Tempting, but no.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you really so horned?
I know, because at one point, Madmartigan's face, like, he covers his whole face except for his eyes. And then the husband's like, do you want to breed? Which is
breed.
so
I know.
gross.
Sick.
So
I thought that
gross.
too. Like, who says nothing screams romance? Like, you want to breed?
Breed.
And he's not taking no for an answer, by the way.
No, so then
Not at all.
at that point, Madmartigan pulls down his facial covering, and he does have like a full beard, and he's like tempting, but no. And I'm like, at that point, if there was
at that point,
any doubt, at that point, it would have been the dead giveaway.
his boobs are all lopsided, and it's
so
like
huge. And then the guy grabs, like, assaults Madmartigan as a woman, grabs the boob,
Oh,
is
yeah,
like,
totally wasn't
don't
not
be
taking him.
shy. And I'm like, at the moment he felt that boob, he'd have been like, this is not a real boob. This is a fabric stuffed into a shirt. But
Well,
he does
maybe
not
he's so horned
care.
up he doesn't know. He's
That's
just like, at that
true.
point,
He's
he
like,
just
this is
thinks
the
it's
softest boob I've ever felt.
the sleeping boob. Regardless, it causes this big old fight, right?
We should say this. Willow has recognized Madmartigan, and Madmartigan has recognized Willow. So they're both aware that the other one is in the room. And in effort to save himself, Madmartigan grabs Elora from Willow. So he's like, oh my God, I'm the nursemaid for this baby. You can't, like, I can't have sex with you or breed with you because I need to take care of this baby.
So sad that you have to have a baby in your
I
hand
know,
to stop this
I know. Which he still doesn't even stop. He still tries to feel her up, like assault her even with the baby, which is even grosser. But as they get outside to the main room of the pub, the soldiers from Bavmorda that are and her daughter Sorsha, who are looking for the baby still, are in there, and they are on baby checking duty.
That baby over there. Let me see its arm. You! Are you the mother of that child?
Yes, I am.
Let me see it.
Is that baby yours? Let me see her. Is that baby yours? Let me see her.
Sorsha and Queen Bavmorda's hunting party are pretty behind the game because there was like 2 days that Willow was sitting there with Madmartigan and he's in the cage.
At the crossroads for a very long time.
It's like 3 days there. Like, what are they doing, guys? Get it together. You have one job. But finally they catch up and they're like, give me a baby. It causes a big fight. And needless to say, Madmartigan, Willow, the brownies, the baby, they all get out.
They all escape. They're on the run.
Madmartigan, wait!
Go home, Willow. It's a dangerous world.
Yeah, and that's why we need your help.
My help?
Oh, no! That's the way I'm going. All right. You can follow me as far as the lake. But that's it.
So they're back at it. Madmartigan just can't get away from these kooky cast of characters. They're on their way to the river.
There's also a brief flashback to the queen.
Have you found the child?
The search goes on, my queen.
Why, with my powers, with the strength of my great army, can you not find one little child?
We look even now. It won't be long.
Find the child! Find the child! Time is running out.
She is so mad. She's slapping people in her
Furious.
army. She's just like, I got
she
all
does.
you guys hunting for this baby, and you can't even find a fucking baby. And she's just like running around slapping her people in her army.
She's no joking, man. But she also has a point because, like, Willow
True.
was at that crossroads for like 4 days and they couldn't find that damn baby. So
And so you also sort of see like the tension between the mom and the daughter, because she's just like, nothing you ever do will be good enough for me. Like, you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
even good at being a soldier, like that kind of a thing.
And I think Sorsha, like, I see why Val Kilmer Madmartigan fell in love with her. She's got this, like, Shakira-ish, like, whatever. Yeah, it's like, she's very pretty and just like, wow. So they're all going to find Raziel.
I just also need to say that Madmartigan is peak boomer grandma during this part, because they stop at like a waterfall and Willow's like,
What are you doing?
I found some blackroot. He loves it.
Blackroot? I am the father of 2 children, and you never ever give a baby blackroot.
Well, my mother raised us on blackroot. It's good for you. The tear on your chest, doesn't it, Dick?
Her name is not Styx. She's Elora Dannon, the future empress of Tyrus Lee. And the last thing she's gonna want is a hairy chest.
what are you giving the baby? And he's like, I'm giving her blackroot. She loves it. And he's like, I'm telling you, you do not give blackroot to babies. And he's like, well, my mom gave it to me and I turned out fine. Babies love it. It'll put some hair on her chest. And she's like, that's not how it works. And it just made me laugh.
It turns
that he was
into
just
like
such a boomer
it
grandma.
turns into like Interview with the Vampire, like Willow and Madmartigan just fall in love and they just argue about raising this baby.
Start raising the
different
baby
ways
together.
to raise the baby. And it would be just like, it
Oh,
turns into like a
precious.
90s sitcom, like
Like Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, exactly.
2 men and a little baby. 1 Newlin, 1 Daikini, and a little baby.
Did you see what he did? He stole our blackroot. I'll get some more, don't worry about it.
There it is! The island!
They are still on their way to the lake to meet Raziel, and when they get there, they decide to part ways, right? Like,
Well, looks like I got you here.
You? What did you do?
All you did was hang around and eat our egg. Huh?
I found a boat. We're all set.
Good.
Take these 2 lizards out and drown them.
Willow's like, here's a boat. Bye.
It's a ragtag hobo,
Madmartigan.
yeah.
See you later. Yeah, it's like
They
a
don't
tiny
really have any, like...
little
Although
tugboat.
Willow, will say this. Willow was, like, so mad at him because he didn't, like, protect the baby earlier. But Madmartigan,
Right.
like, literally saved Willow's life. So it was kind of disrespectful because it could be like, let's call it even, Willow. Like, you're now being, like, bitchy holding on to grudges, okay? Just save your damn life.
I don't know if you remember this, but Willow does say,
Look, I'm sorry I got angry. We wouldn't have escaped without you.
hey, I am sorry I got mad at you earlier.
Of course
I was
it does.
really stressed
That
out.
Sweet Pea Willow has all the
And
answers.
that was more about me, less about you. That's my emotional experience. Thank you so much for getting us
I
away
don't
on that
remember
wagon.
But I wouldn't doubt it. Willow is a piece of good work. I wouldn't say piece of work, but that always sounds like bad, like a negative
Bad,
connotation.
yes.
But a piece of good work.
Good work. Good craftsmanship.
So they separate, and Willow goes to this island, and he goes to the island to find Raziel, right? But she's been turned into like this cute little sugar glider thing.
I'm Willow Ufgood. What are you doing here? I've come to find the great sorceress, Finn Raziel.
That's me. I'm Raziel.
This can't be right.
One of Madmartigan's spells transformed me. Believe me, it could have been worse.
And he's like, whoa. And she's like, I know this looks weird, but I am a powerful witch and I have to destroy Bavmorda. And he's like, you're exiled on an island and you're a freaking chinchilla. Why should I believe that you have the power to defeat Bavmorda? And she's like, okay. I know, look. I know I'm exiled on this island and I'm a fucking chinchilla. But I promise you, just trust me, I will take down Bavmorda. And he's like,
and he's like, well, if you have to fight Bavmorda, but Bavmorda already turned you into a chinchilla.
didn't she put you on this island as a chinchilla?
Then even if I break the spell, she's probably just going to make you a chinchilla again. Am I right? Like nothing about this plan works out.
Here? Yeah. But you know what? She's just really trying to convince him, like, trust me, if you can make me back into a human with your wizard powers, I promise you, this will all be behind us. We'll have a good laugh. I'll help you save this
And
baby.
later you find out like how long she's been a chinchilla, and it's been a
long
while.
ass-
So it's like
She's been
at one
exiled
point-
on an island for like, tens of years.
So whoever's telling Willow, I guess it was the fairy princess, but like if you're telling Willow to get to Raziel, like, did you not know Raziel's been a chinchilla for like 30 years? Like,
No
what's
one's
that
communicating
about?
here. No, the
it's kind of like never-ending story.
the
How
brownies,
nobody
nobody's
knew anything else that was happening.
Did you hear? There's a prophecy that Raziel got turned into a chinchilla and exiled to an island.
Yeah, it's
And
all traveling a little
you would
slow.
think that someone would tell Willow, by the way, she is a rodent now. Like, by the way, she's a small mammal. If they
you
knew.
might be surprised when you see her.
Because if they knew she got exiled from Bavmorda, you'd think everyone would know that she
Right.
got exiled as a chinchilla.
As a
But they're just
chinchilla.
pretending that didn't happen. They're just like, you know what? We didn't see it.
Or
so
that
we're
they're
just...
like, she's really powerful, so by the time she got to the island, she probably just turned herself
she's
back
probably
into
turned
a
herself back.
human. So she's just
Raziel,
been
she's
hanging out there by
so-
herself.
No, she has not. She's been eating fruit on that island for decades, waiting for Willow to come. So, I don't know. If I was
She
Willow,
is
I'd just be like,
relieved.
yeah, what this choice? What else do I have? Like, at this point, what
I
else do I
know.
have?
I guess the talking chinchilla is really my
And
only
she, like,
option. at
as
this
a
point.
chinchilla, she talks to him like, isn't the baby precious?
Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful?
But he does try to, well, first off, he's like, again, after that, she's like, I promise you, Bavmorda, I can do this. Can you make me back into a human, please? That's all I need you to do. Not asking
First,
much.
I need
I'll pay
something
you back.
from you.
And she's, first, I need something from you. I just need you to practice your sorcery skills and turn me back into. And he's like, okay, this is all a little strange, but I'll give it a go. He can't do it, sweet baby.
No. So she's like, I'll give you the spell. Just practice it.
You must use the bond. Turn me back into my human form.
We should have said this earlier. I kind of forgot. But he does get a magic wand from the fairy princess. So he's been packing that in his bag. And so that's part of kind of everything working together. So she knows that with Willow having that magic wand from the fairy princess, that with the right spell, he can turn her back into a human.
It legit looks like a stick, though. Like, it looks like that elf queen just picked up a stick and literally was like, here you go, little guy.
She totally could have.
Here you go.
She's like, it's all about if you believe it's a wand. That's all that's
Everybody's
important.
just a crazy wizard. They're all just scamming each other, and no one has powers, and it's all just make-believe.
It's all just multi-level marketing of the forest.
Yeah, here's this wand. If you get 10 other people to use this wand, then you become the master wander. Like, it's just...
Then you get to be the wizard of the Newland. So it's everybody
and you get
wins.
all the bones, the foretelling bones. Pull all
and then
the
you
fingers.
get a pink wagon to drive around your village.
Oh, yes. Anyway, Raziel. She's not being turned into a human. She's still a little chipmunk.
Right. So we think that we're in the clear and that we're like, we found a little chinchilla. We're on our way. Right at that moment, oh my gosh. What's her name? Why do I keep
Just call her
it?
Bavmorda.
Bavmorda. Okay, so Bavy.
Her real Bavy. Just call her Bav.
Because I keep her wanting to say it with an M, like Mavborda, but it's Bavmorda.
Because you're thinking
I keep
Madmartigan.
getting it backwards.
It's just
Probably.
That's why I was like,
okay, so Babby. So Queen Babby's people sneak up on them, and Madmartigan's with them. So Sorsha has taken Madmartigan hostage, and he's like,
Sorry about this, Pick.
Willow, I'm so sorry. I ratted you out. I really didn't have a choice. They found me.
No, he didn't.
Willow's
He didn't rat them out. He didn't. There's a soldier in the background that says,
I told you we'd find him without your help.
we didn't even need him. We found you on our own. So it leads you to believe that Madmartigan ratted him out. But because
Madmartigan does apologize. So maybe he, feels responsible for it.
Yeah, because if I was Willow, I'd be like, dude, I left you for like 5 seconds. I left you 5 seconds last time you were a woman getting assaulted. I leave you for 5 more seconds. You have an army after you that's kidnapped you, and you ratted me out. And I think he does apologize just because he knows, like, oh shit, this is inevitable.
I hear what you're saying. So they tie up Madmartigan and Willow.
And the chinchilla.
And
the
they put her in like a cage
like a
where
pyramid.
all of yes, it's like. But I'm also like, and they hang it from the back of the wagon, and it's like even the bars of the cage seem wide enough that she could just chinchilla her way right out of there. But
he'd just be like, "This is my pet chinchilla," and they'd be like, "We don't give a fuck. Leave it behind. We don't have a cage for it." Like, it's really nice of them.
Let us strap some sticks together and weld a cage.
It's really nice of them to make a cage for my pet chinchilla instead of just kill it and be on the way, right? So
yeah, do they? Because that's true. Like, either it's because there's 2 options, right? Either it's his pet chinchilla and they don't care, and why are you going to weave it a cage so that it can ride with them? Or they know it's Raziel the sorceress who's trying to kill Babby, and then they just kill her because she's a chinchilla and has no power.
So they really thought, like, you know what? We should make a little cage for his pet chinchilla. They look really cozy together.
This just seems, we'll take him prisoner, but we're not cruel.
We're not animals.
Come on.
We respect our chinchillas. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, who the hell made that cage? Did they know she was going to be there? And if they did, like, the whole thing, I'm like, no,
were they prepared?
Yeah, they wove.
They're like, bring the cage just in case. We might find an animal. Yeah, so they, and the whole time that they're walking, because they're like chained up to the back of the wagon, the whole time Raziel, the chinchilla's like,
Hurry, practice the chant I taught you.
just practice it. Please just practice it. I just got to get back to my human form. And Willow
she's
just
jonesing
cannot.
to get back to her human form. And Willow's like, there's a time and a place. We've just been kidnapped. Like, shut the fuck up.
Can you stop talking, please?
No
I
one
just
knows.
think you're my pet chinchilla.
Yes, no one wants to hear my chinchilla talk.
Willow's also really worried about the baby because Alora sounds sick. And so Willow's desperately trying to get the attention from Sorsha.
I'm worried about Alora. Oh, she doesn't sound good.
But Sorsha's like,
I don't need help from a peck.
I don't need your help, you stupid little peck. I can take care of a baby myself. And then I liked this little touch of kindness. Madmartigan puts Willow's on his shoulder because Willow's having a hard time keeping up with the wagon going. And so Madmartigan puts him on his shoulders and gives a little
forgiven and they've
piggyback.
forgotten and they're just hanging out.
This whole thing stinks.
Ignore him, Willow. He's a fool. Willow, you must transform me to my human self.
But Rizal, I'm not ready yet.
You'd better be. Get me down.
So they're all kidnapped. They're setting up camp. And this is something Cadence and we didn't get this whole part, so just bear with us. But the plan is that Willow's like, I gotta get that baby.
There, you are free.
Come on, Madmartigan. Let's get Laura Denon out of here.
Yeah,
you know what, Madmartigan, go in there, seduce Sorsha however you got to do it, distract her so I can get the baby. Then somehow we think the brownies...
And he needs a sword. That's the other thing. He needs to get a sword.
Because he doesn't have anything. And I'm liking how there's
Yes.
no security. Like, no one witnesses him walk into Sorsha's tent.
No. They're all
being-
like, when we go to sleep,
everyone's
everyone's
like,
asleep. The
once
guards
the-
are like, when
once
we
the
sleep,
prisoners-
the prisoners sleep.
Yeah, once we go to sleep, the prisoners are kicking them roam the camp all they want. So the brownies, we think, are the one that somehow accidentally sprinkle Madmartigan with this like love potion, the same one that made him fall in love with the cat. And so he sneaks in and he just falls even more. He was already in love with her, struck by her beauty.
Right.
But now he's even more in love with her. And he's basically going in and like almost feeling her up in her sleep.
It gets a bit creepy because he is hovering over
he's
her
hovering
while
over her.
she's asleep.
But I
and,
don't
like,
really think she's asleep because the actress is sitting there like like, you know, when they have a smile on their face, like glimpsing up, like, and her hair is like
Say more.
beautiful, like just
that's not
brave.
how I look when I sleep.
I know, and I would think, what the shit does that look like in the morning? Like, it must be this matted mess. Because it's just like, it's a lot of hair.
way
It's
it's all
like brain
spread
status,
out.
and it's spread out in this beautiful light, and she's kind of got this smirk on.
Uh-oh. Madmartigan, baby, what are you doing? Come on, baby, come on.
But he's just got this love potion on him, and so now he's just swooning over her. And basically, she wakes up right when he's about to like kind of do the Snow White kiss her in the sleep thing.
Yeah.
And she's got a freaking sword to his groin, and he's spitting these rhymes, dude.
Wake from this hateful sleep. It deprives me of the beauty. The beauty in your eyes.
One move, jackass, and you really will be a woman. What are you doing here?
Your power has enchanted me. I stand helpless against it. Come to me now. Tonight, let me worship you in my arms.
Get away from me!
I love you.
Stop saying that!
When I stop the beating of my heart, it pounds like never before.
Oh, he
He's
is
just
spouting
like,
poetry.
Oh, he's Leonardo DiCaprio in 1997's Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
And she's like, you were just kind of hovering over me in my sleep, and I still kind of like you. You know what?
Yeah.
I kind of like those words.
I think I might like you. So she's right about to kiss him, and she notices that the baby's gone. And she's like, you fucking traitor.
tricked
I
me."
thought you were in here seducing me, and you were just trying to
Which
steal
I
that baby
kinda
and my
liked.
sword, which I kind of liked. But now I'm extra mad because I thought I liked it, and you were just kidding. This is also a side note. Willow's been practicing his sorcery. So at this camp, he's accidentally turned the chinchilla into a crow at this point.
That's right. He changes into a
So-
raven, and she's not any happier because she's not human. She's-
In all this chaos of them breaking out of the princess's tent and stealing the baby back, the crows also now flying around crazy like.
she's like, I gotta learn how to fly. Like, she's just so.
I
angry.
gotta learn how to fly after all this time.
But they do make it away, and they're like in this like snowy Himalayas spot now because they're going on this like wild Earth journey. And I love how they make like this like sled. Not
Yep.
quite sure of what, but that's how Willow, Madmartigan, Allura, the baby, the brownies escape.
Yep, they hop on that sled and slide right down that giant mountain.
And the whole time, fucking Sorsha's just looking slow motion Victoria's Secret ad. Did you notice that too? Zoomed up on her face, her hair, and it's like soft lighting, and she's just for hours looking at him go away. And you're like, who got love potion now?
Oh no, where did everybody go?
Maybe it was something we said.
Okay, so
We always
There-
do that. Okay, so all right.
the amount of times that I edit out, so because we just say it all
Well,
the
I
time.
make fun of Alex
So-
too, because Alex and I do the same thing. Every time we are doing our little Kiloski Hane, he'll be like, all right, guys. And I do the same thing. I'll be like, okay, every single time. I'm like, stop saying all right, guys. Anyway, okay, we're back in the world of Willow.
So they sled out of they have been captured. We talked about how the crow has been changed from the chinchilla to the crow, and the sorceress is like,
She's
"Oh,
so mad
fuck."
at
Like,
Raziel's like still so mad.
so in the chaos, they take the little sled, and it doesn't really cover a distance necessarily, but it's somewhere
Oh,
down the mountain.
It shoots
Just
the
in
hell
the
down
general
that
down
mountain.
direction.
And I love this part. I know it's really annoying to describe visuals for people listening to a podcast, but it's so clear that Willow is a body double. It's like a child with a wig on the sled ride. It cracks me up. If you pause it, it's clearly, and I don't even think they had a body double. I think they just were like, can anybody step in for Willow?
Just anybody. We just need to
Because it
reshoot
doesn't look
it.
anything like him at all.
I know how people have contracts sometimes, and it's like they negotiate like what part of the stunts they'll be, or how much nudity will be in the movie, or whether they'll have body doubles for it. And so maybe that was just part of Warwick Davis's thing. He's like, no
Nope.
sledding. I'm not
Absolutely
doing it.
not.
Do not ask me to sled. So when they get down to the bottom of the hill or the mountain, they land in Eric's camp. Eric is the soldier that we met at the crossroads.
Who
when they
basically
were
left Madmartigan in that cage. He's like, sorry,
Yes.
sucker.
So Madmartigan's like, oh, fancy meeting you here.
You left me to die, Eric. I probably saved your life.
And Eric's like, listen, I know I was a dick, but honestly, I saved your life because I went into battle and pretty much everyone died. There's just whoever you see here.
He's a
is the
master.
only people
He's
that
the
got
master
out.
gaslighter, the best manipulator ever. Actually, by
So
leaving
he's
you in that
like-
cage to rot and die, I saved your life because if I would have let you out, you would have just died in my army.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So they're in this like encampment, which is just mostly comprised of tents, but somehow,
Which is what an encampment is.
well, yeah, but what I'm saying is they go into like a tent that has like a basement. It's like part of it's underground. There's stairs.
It's
So
a,
I
you're
was
right. It's
trying
a
to
more
understand.
it's a more like permanent structure. Maybe they
Yeah,
built
it
their
was
encampment
like-
around that.
They found it and they're like, we'll utilize this building because I can't imagine like you've been all killed in battle and then you come and you're like, dig out a basement. So we have a set of stairs. We want 2 levels.
Just for
this
Eric likes to make
building.
grand entrances just so he can like sashay down the
Just saunter
stairs
down.
or saunter down the stairs and be like, what is going on here?
Madmartigan's like, can you hide us, please? It's like him and Willow and the baby.
And
And
the
he
crow
brings-
somewhere.
And the crow. The crow's just sort of flying around doing her thing.
And the 2 brownies.
And oh, well, the brownies are sort of always in
yeah, they're
Willow's
kind
little
of like
pocket.
doing their own thing. Yeah, they're just kind of, they pop in and out when they need to. But really,
really do.
are they in Willow's pocket? Because
They're in his little satchel. He has like a little satchel.
That's right. They just like pop out whenever they need to because they can't
Yeah.
keep up with Willow, who can't keep up with the Daikini. But also, the brownies like rode in on a crow that for the falcon in the beginning when they captured the baby. So like,
They could hop a ride on Raphael at this point.
yeah, where's that bird?
Just hop on her.
You know,
She
why don't
can
you
be
hop
their
on that
ride.
bird? Go scope everything out. Get us some
Get us
intel.
some info.
And then
Yeah.
come back.
That's actually a really good idea because eventually they do get to the castle and it's not what they thought it was going to be. And so it's like the crow could have just flown over there and given them a heads up. But I guess
She's still just
We're
pissed
not
she's
doing
not a
that.
human yet. She's just flying around being so pissed off. Fucking Willow.
she's just too bitter to
Fucking
think of
Willow
good
and that
ideas.
fucking wand.
I told him to fucking practice that spell. I told him a million times when I was in that cage.
Pissed.
Eric does take them to the lower level to hide them, but he's also like, what? I don't understand what the deal is with this baby. Like, why are we hiding this? And Madmartigan's like, listen, the baby's really important. And if you have any interest in defeating Bavmorda, then you need to help us hide this baby. So Eric does.
Totally.
He doesn't choose to go with them. So Madmartigan says, like, will you
You
please
can only do so
bring
much.
your men?
He can only do so much.
He's just a man. So he's like, please bring your men. There's a whole army waiting for us at Tirasleen. You can come help us defeat Bavmorda. Eric's like, listen, I've already seen my guys die. I'm not filling up for it. However, I will help you as you escape. As soon as Sorsha starts sauntering down the stairs to make her grand entrance, then a little fight breaks out and the tables have turned because now Madmartigan gets Sorsha and takes her captive this time
Oh,
around.
boy.
So she was
Mad
not
Mardigan's-
prepared for that.
She wasn't. Don't you think she looks like freaking wherever?
I know you are really obsessed with her looking like Shakira.
Don't you think she does? I think she looks so much like her. It's wild.
I can see it. I can see it. It wasn't like the first thing that came to my mind, but I can see it.
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot, so
Fine.
wherever.
But you should just keep singing that because I don't think you've said it enough times.
Look at that, my breasts are small as mountains. So you don't no. Look at my breasts are small and humble, so you don't mistake
So you
them for
don't-
mountains.
Yes.
Something like that. Okay, so Madmartigan has captured freaking
Sorsha, right.
Sorsha.
And Eric helps them like gives them some leeway to make the escape while Sorcia's men come to try to find them. So he does do the right thing
Sorcia's
as
men
far
are
as
always
giving them
still,
a cover.
still just a
They're
couple
always-
steps behind. Always.
They
There's a
really
whole
are.
movie. They're just a little bit slow to the party.
So now Madmartigan has Sorcia on a horse, and they are captured, or she is captured, and they're making their way to Tirasleen, that castle. This is where their little sexual tension starts growing a little bit.
Heart.
Because on the horse, she's like,
Holding me too tight.
Well, I don't want you to get away.
Why? Because I'm your sun, your moon, your starlit sky.
Did I really say those things last night in your tent?
You said you loved me.
I don't remember that.
You lied to me.
No, I just wasn't myself last night.
I suppose my power enchanted you and you were helpless against it.
Sort of.
Then what?
Went away.
Went away. I dwell in darkness without you and it went away.
I don't know if you remember this, but you told me that you were in love with me and that I was the most beautiful woman in the world. And you were just like going on and on about
Don't
it.
remember any of that. Sorry. Under a love spell. Don't remember a freaking thing. That's what he says,
So
essentially.
he's like, I don't know what you're talking
He's like,
about.
sorry, bud.
I
But he
take no
still does love
responsibility
her.
for
And
that.
like the way he saw her when she
Yeah.
first, you'd think he'd be like, yep, I remember saying that. I do. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would only work in his favor.
Yes, it would only work
to
in his
say
favor
that.
at that point. Yes, yes. Man,
Because she was about to kiss him. So I would have been like, yes, I do remember.
And
I
that
said all
poetry that I recited,
poetry.
I wrote that myself.
Yes.
No one else wrote that for me. That's in my head. That's in my heart.
That's my trademark copyright material. So you're welcome. So at some point, Sorcia does fight Madmartigan enough to make her escape. Here's the important part, though, is that Madmartigan has the chance to grab her and
But he
like chase
doesn't.
her down and get her again, and he doesn't. Like they
No.
make eye contact, and he's like, "I'm gonna let you," like with his
Yeah,
eyes.
he's got his
like,
eyes.
I'm gonna let you.
I'm gonna let you go, Buster. Just because you
Mhm.
think I love you. I'm gonna let you go, Buster, and remember that poetry I read you. Yeah, it's definitely
Just-
like a we'll see each other
Mhm.
again type of look.
Yes. A knowing look. So Willow, Madmartigan, and Elora the baby. Oh, and the crow.
And the and the brownies. You keep forgetting those brownies.
Oh, the brownies. I'm not trying to. Just because they're
Rude.
small doesn't mean they're not important.
Rude.
I was so nervous about calling the Nulwins Pecks because it was
I know,
slang.
now
It was
you're
disrespectful.
You're
but
just
now
so
it just
nervous
comes
about
to me
brownies.
forgetting the brownies altogether. So they turn up to Tirasleen, and they have been, like we said, told that there's going to be this whole army waiting for them so
Big
they
ass
can
army.
fight Bavmorda. But when they get there, there's like people are turned into stone. The whole thing is abandoned.
You say it so casually, like they show up and they're like, "What the fuck is going? Why is everybody stone?" And it's even more miserable than before. It's got this like Narnia Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe Aslan thing.
It really is. And it was like there were only at least as far as I could tell, there were only a couple of people turned to stone. So I wasn't sure.
What's
You
the
know what I'm talking
process
about?
there? Yeah. It was
Yeah.
kind of like in Legend when she comes back to her poor friends and they're like turned to ice, but like
Yes.
who else is turned to
Yes.
snow ice?
You could not tell how extensive it was. Like, are they missing because they're all dead, or are they?
They're not even like statues. They're like slabs of
No.
rock you would find in nature.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't really know a person was in there, maybe.
It's kind of like when they dig up Encino Man and he's in like a block of ice.
Oh, Encino
It's
Man.
that. But only some of them. You don't know
You
where
don't
the
know.
majority of the population
You don't know Bavmorda's ways, man.
went. So they're really bummed because there's not an army there. But Madmartigan opens a certain door and there are thousands of weapons. Just a whole
Love it.
armory of weapons. And then
Casually,
there's
no
one-
lock on the door, nothing, just
nope.
there. The people who turned to stone did not get there in time, apparently.
They were just right outside the door. They were
All stone.
almost in there, but not quite. But it was also, there's like an armor outfit. I don't know what you would call it. A set of armor
I guess you could
perfectly
say
on
that.
display, kind of like in Legend where
The
it's
glittering,
like,
beautiful
yes,
sequin.
just like right
Ugh.
there in the spotlight. That's
all the sparkles. I just can remember how many sparkles and glitter there was.
so
in
many,
Legend.
so much
Everything
glitter.
was glitter.
It was so bedazzled. And that's unfortunately not how Madmartigan's armor looks.
wish
It
it
is in the
was.
spotlight. It is on a little wooden mannequin in the middle of the room, but it does not have the bedazzles.
But I think this is
such
where we
as
like,
the
it's giving
legend.
us the like foreshadowing that he's actually a pretty good like fighter warrior person.
Yeah,
this whole
'cause this
time you're
whole
kind of
time-
wondering, this whole time you're like, what does this guy do? You know, he dresses up like
Yeah,
women.
and he's
fucks
been
around.
saying, like, trust me, if I have weapons, I'm actually a really good fighter.
Oh yeah, he says it at the
And-
beginning. Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
Like over and over again, but he can't really ever get a hold of weapons, or when he does, it's for like a really short time.
So your time to shine, Madmartigan. Your time to shine.
Okay, so this is Cadence. I'm just stepping in, just being all cash. And I'm going to tell you that we had a really weird freak occurrence happen, and we lost a huge chunk of our audio. So we were just getting ready to tell the story of the battle. Madmartigan has found his armor, and Queen Bavmorda's army is coming, and there's this giant fight that happens, and the sorceress Raziel is turned into a goat instead of a human, and they fight a two-headed monster that looks like it has Austin Powers teeth, and there's trolls that look like monkey dogs, and that whole thing happens at that castle where the people are turned to stone before they move over to Queen Bavmorda's castle, and she does the 12-hour-long ritual. So that is the little chunk we're missing, but please know that we're really sorry. We don't know what happened, but we are going to start back up at Queen Bavmorda's castle. Raziel has been turned back into a human lady. She's incredibly disappointed because when she gets turned back, she's 1,000,000 years old, and she looks at her skin and she's like, oh fuck, I did not expect to be 500,000 years old. Maybe I didn't want to be a human after all. Maybe time works differently when you're an animal and the animal years pass differently. Anyhoozle. So this is essentially the big showdown. Also important to note, Sorsha, the queen's daughter, has officially fallen for Madmartigan when she sees him on that two-headed Austin Powers monster. It gets her so horned, she switches sides. So now she is in this final battle against her own mother while she tries to complete the ritual that will exorcise the baby's soul into oblivion.
This is not an army.
So the Queen Bavmorda, they get into the gates, their plan works, but do you think Bavmorda is cool with that? Do you think that she wants them to be in the gates? No, she doesn't. So this is one of the parts.
Where's Bavmorda been this whole time? She's just been chilling
she
out.
got the baby. No, she hasn't, because it's
She's
funny
turning
you
people
ask.
into stone, having a good old time, and her
After her army caught the other, I was gonna say the other army, but it wasn't the other army. It was just those four
just
people.
4 people.
Oh, you know what is important that I forgot to say is that the army that gets into the gates is Eric's army. He
No,
decides
you said that.
after. Well, I didn't really clarify because it was like after the four of them, like Sorsha betrays her mom, Madmartigan, Willow, the brownies, and the goat. They all
You kind of implied it,
basically
though.
get conquered. And then Eric's army does decide that even though he said he wouldn't come with them, he has had a change of heart. And so they are the army that gets through the gates. But what I was saying is, it's funny you should ask where the queen was, because she got the baby from Willow when her army overtook them. And she's setting up this fucking ritual. And
Oh, it's
it
a
is
beautiful
taking
ritual. It's
so long.
Cadence, to do a ritual that she's been waiting so long to do, you got to have all the pieces just right.
Begin the ritual.
This baby will not destroy me.
And it's like they start in the evening, it's dark and
It's
nighttime.
an evening event.
And then by the time the freaking army comes in, it's dawn. So she's been setting this whole thing up for 12 hours.
You can't get rid of your nemesis prophecy. You can't do this half-assed. You need everything
is-
perfect. That's where
oh
she's
my
been.
God.
She's been collecting all the
Yes,
items to set up this
exactly.
perfect ritual.
She has been prepping, and so she has to take control of this army. So she does come down from building the ritual, like the beautiful space.
I have to take
and
care of this. Eric's army. Give me a minute.
she's so mad. She realizes Sorsha has betrayed her. So this part used to scare me a ton when I was a kid. It's when she starts turning the army into pigs.
You're not warriors. You're
pigs.
Oh, yeah, pig army. Very symbolic.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what it is. The little pig things are kind of weird with the teeth.
Yeah,
They don't look like
because
real
they get
pigs.
like tusks.
Yeah,
they
they're like,
start looking sort of like javelinas.
Yeah, they
but
look
then
like
they end up
warthogs.
like little pigs. Yeah.
That's scary.
So she even turns her own kid into a pig. She's just like, I'm done. I have no time for any of this. You're all pigs. I'm going to go finish this ritual. I have 6 more hours of ritual to complete. She goes back up. Because of this, though, because the sorceress has already been turned into a human, she has not been turned into a pig.
Raziel.
And also Willow hasn't, because Willow and the sorceress sort of hung back while the army went in.
Why are you calling her the sorceress all this time? Why are you doing Raziel like that?
Sorry.
All of a sudden, you're
Raziel.
just casually... We've called her Raziel this whole time, and all of a
Raziel.
sudden you're calling her the sorceress? Is it because she's an old woman now? It's because you're ageist now that she's not anymore sugar glider.
Raziel. She has a name. She has an identity.
She's just
she
old and
deserves
she forgot.
respect.
Okay, that's rude. She was stuck on that island.
So they go to save the baby, and they go up into the beautiful sorcerer room, or not the sorcerer room, the ritual room. That's what I meant to say.
This is where simplicity is best with Willow. You don't need to be a sorcerer. You don't need to be any of that shit. Just be a sleight of hand magician. That's all you gotta do.
At first, Willow chucks, he has like a magic acorn that turns people to stone, and he chucks it.
Don't even ask
and
where
it
that came
starts-
from. Don't
It came from
brownies.
the scam wizard that was in the very beginning, but like some
Turns out he
stuff he
did.
gave worked, some stuff he gave didn't work.
And this is when it's
so-
just hit and miss.
Yeah, so you never know.
He's
So
not
this
expecting
one
Willow to come
did,
back, so he just gave him a bunch of junk.
But it also wasn't great, like because it couldn't have been that powerful, because as soon as he throws it, the queen, like her hand turns to stone, and then she just grabs her own arm and she's like, no, thank you.
I'm a
Done.
sorceress.
And she's just like not even kind of stopped by it. So at this point, the sorceress also decides she's just going to resort to hand-to-hand combat. That's all that's left is just to fight the queen.
No, sometimes you want to
Woman
feel that
to
skin on
woman.
skin. She's been banished to an island as a sugar glider for a long ass time, so
That's
she wants to
very
have
true.
her hands around that woman's throat. She's about to get Bavi's throat.
In the process of setting up this ritual, there has been a tub of blood. There's been like it looks like a giant wok for stir fry in the middle of the room.
It's like a
where
cauldron.
The baby is.
It's like a
There's
cauldron, but
like
a
but
stir
it's
fry cauldron.
shallow. Yeah, it's like a more shallow cauldron. So there's like this very intense like blood maze that the blood has to run through. She doesn't just want to kill the baby. She wants to exorcise its soul into oblivion. That is the goal.
That's scary.
So it's
Scary.
not, yes, it is intense. But the joke's on the queen, because after many, 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 many hours of hand-to-hand combat with Raziel, she knocks the blood over, steps in the blood, and is at the same time holding the magic wand, and the lightning hits the magic wand, and guess what? It vaporizes her soul into oblivion.
But how does she get so frazzled to begin with? Back to my magician combat. Willow's like, I got the baby. I snuck it off the altar. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe Will got the baby that I've literally been. And then Willow's like, psych. And he literally just did a really bad trick and pretended he had the baby. And he's like, oh, actually, I don't have it. And she's like, what? And in the meantime, she's so flustered by Willow having that baby and tricking her like that she actually casts and exercises her own soul. So Willow, like, after all this, like, sorcery and this wizards and blood, literally just sleight of hand and literally pretending you're holding a baby. It was just like
You
rolled
were
up cloth.
right.
Like, that's the whole, are you kidding me?
You're right. It all boils down to Willow's own brand of magic.
He's like a magic. It's literally like, oh, I got the baby, and she falls for it, and it's literally like he's just holding his fist, like, oh, and then he's like, and then he literally like, psych, and she's so frazzled that Willow
Oh my
psyched her
God,
out
you're
there.
right. I totally forgot about his weird little move.
How
where
could you
he's just
forget
like,
about it? It's
"Oh,
the
I don't
culmination
know."
of the whole movie. It's like
Because I
Willow's
was-
number one power is him just being like a sleight of hand Las Vegas magician. Like, and it's not even that good of a trick. Like, anybody could have pretended. She
It
just
really
instantly
wasn't.
believed that he had the baby.
And she's like, I've been making this whole ritual for 12 hours. Like her brain was like on a lot of things. Her daughter had betrayed her.
Her
like,
hand is
she had a lot
stoned. She's done
going
hours
on.
of combat with Raziel. This old naked woman's hitting
She's
her.
getting worn down. Like,
she's
it's been
only
a
one
while.
woman, right? So she gets flustered and she exercises her own soul to wherever exiled souls go.
Yeah, Oblivion.
Oblivion.
That's where it
That's
is.
really hard
Oblivion.
to do.
Yeah, she disappears. Problems over, and the baby is saved.
Lenore, or what is it?
Alora.
Alora doesn't actually, the prophecy doesn't, like, Bavmorda did it to herself. Alora didn't do anything. The prophecy was kind of right.
That's
that
true.
She would be her downfall, but actually her real downfall was herself.
Yeah, her own pride, her
she
own
needs
ego.
to watch Jennifer Lopez's This Is Me, now, and understand that all you need to do is love yourself. She turns into a little hummingbird.
Yeah, so I was going to say we should take a moment of silence to honor Eric the soldier, because after everything he did, he does die in the final battle against Bavmorda.
R.I.P.
So
Eric. Other than that, everyone's pretty happy, though. I mean, Madmartigan gets his babe. Sorsha, Willow's like the world's greatest like magician / sorcerer. I will say that Raziel, she's kind of sad though, because she's like, fuck, I'm 120 and I don't know what to do now.
I know, she's like, what am I supposed to do with my life?
My mortal enemy is obliviated herself, and like, what am I gonna do now? So maybe she didn't get
I thought
out
I was
the
going to
best.
like be turned back into a human and be living out my best years of my life, like find some other hot magician guy.
No, maybe she can just be like the resident, like, but the whole kingdom goes back into this like fairy tale kingdom. By the way, like everything is it's classic, like light.
All of the
cameras,
giant mounds
action.
of skulls that are outside
Disappear.
are just gone.
All the people that turned into stone are no longer stone. It's just a happy reunion, and I love how like one person has so much power over a whole. Like Bavmorda really, she's a boss bitch.
She really
had so much power.
I guess because she was like also a sorceress and a queen, that it was like the combination of those two things that made her so powerful, because she was like running that whole, I guess, country with a tight fist. Like, I don't know what the boundaries of her kingdom
You
were.
don't know. Nobody knows.
But anywhere she crossed over, she took control of it. But yeah, I guess it also implies that Madmartigan and Sorsha like end up together and raise Alora together in the kingdom in order for her to
they do.
the
Willow full
throne.
gives Alora to them, and they're like, we will take this baby. And well, I guess Sorsha's technically like its grand aunt. Like she was there when it was born, kind of. It's going to be so awkward when she's 18 and she's like, yeah, I met your dad hunting you down to kill you because your mom, you know. I mean, the queen, she just like wanted to kill all the young girls, and so I went on this hunt for you, and like I tried to kill you.
I
like,
sent
3
the devil
times.
dogs.
I know there was this really sweet woman named Edna who took you in the forest. I killed her, but you know what? We're a family now.
Mother and daughters have a complicated relationship. At the very end, Warwick Davis, who is Willow, obviously goes back to his people, back to his wife, back to his children, and they have planted the most gorgeous crops while he's gone. So
and
he
he's
has
not
all
getting
the things
bullied
he needs
anymore.
When he gets back.
That scam wizard is like,
Burgle
"Ooh."
Cut is not even gonna try to mess with
Gurgle
him.
Cut's like, no, you just saved the whole world. Is his name Gurgle Cut?
Burgle Cut with a B.
Burgle Cut or Gurgle Cut. Either way, I like it.
Either way.
But he's like a hero now. Yeah, everyone's happy except for Zelia. Sorry, Raziel.
Now who's being disrespectful?
Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard for me to say. Oh, but that's Willow.
That's Willow. So thanks for sitting through that lovely movie with us. We will see you next time.
No one's made it this far. Bye.
Bye.